the world of daytime television has been shaken to its core. Fans who grew up watching dramatic storylines, emotional reunions, and unforgettable cliffhangers are now mourning the passing of a man who defined an era, Tristan Rogers. For decades, Tristan wasn't just another actor on television. He was a presence, a symbol, and to many, even a companion. His portrayal of Robert Scorpio on General Hospital made him one of the most iconic figures in soap opera history. And now, at the age of 78, the beloved star has bid farewell to this world, leaving behind a void that cannot be filled. News of his passing spread quickly across social media, with fans, celebrities, and co-stars sharing their shock and grief. While every tribute carried emotion, one stood out: the heartfelt remembrance from actor John Stamos, who credited Rogers not only for his professional brilliance, but also for his warmth and kindness off-screen. Tristan Rogers' death was confirmed by his family, who revealed that he passed away peacefully, surrounded by loved ones during his final moments. Although the exact cause has not been publicly disclosed, it is known that he had been struggling with health challenges in recent years, occasionally stepping away from his work to focus on recovery. For fans, the loss feels deeply personal. Soap operas are not just television shows, they are part of daily life. Characters become familiar faces, part of households. And in Tristan's case, Robert Scorpio was a hero who grew alongside his audience for over 4 decades. Born in Melbourne, Australia in 1946, Tristan Rogers had big dreams from an early age. Like many aspiring talents, he set his sights on Hollywood in the 1970s, determined to carve a name for himself in an industry filled with fierce competition. His breakthrough came in 1980 when he was cast as Robert Scorpio on General Hospital. What seemed like just another role at the time turned into the performance that would define his career. Robert wasn't just a character, he was an experience. Charming, intelligent, witty, and courageous, Scorpio was the kind of soap opera figure who stood out in a sea of melodrama. He wasn't simply reacting to storylines, he was shaping them. His presence gave General Hospital a spark that drew in millions of fans worldwide. Over the years, Tristan's ability to breathe life into Robert Scorpio transformed the character into one of the most beloved and longest-running roles in daytime television history, spanning more than 40 years. But Tristan's talents weren't confined to one role. Fans of The Young and the Restless also remember him as Colin Atkinson, a complex and layered character that showed his versatility. His ability to switch between suave heroes and morally ambiguous figures proved that he was far more than a one-character actor. Outside of soaps, Tristan ventured into voice acting, lending his voice to animated classics like The Rescuers, Down Under, and All Dogs Go to Heaven, too. These roles introduced him to a younger generation who may not have watched soap operas, but still came to love his work. Tristan's career spanned across different genres and mediums, but at the core of it all was his dedication to storytelling. Whether on screen or behind a microphone, he had an undeniable ability to connect with audiences, to make them feel, laugh, and even cry. In the flurry of tributes pouring in, John Stamos' words struck the deepest chord. Stamos, who himself began his career in soap operas before achieving global fame on Full House, reflected on his early days working alongside Tristan Rogers. "He was kind to me when I was just starting out," Stamos recalled. "And that's something you never forget. Tristan was a star, but he treated everyone like family." At first glance, those words may seem simple, but to anyone who has worked in the entertainment industry, they carry profound meaning. Hollywood is often described as cutthroat, a place where egos clash and kindness is rare. For a young actor like Stamos, being welcomed with warmth by someone as established as Tristan Rogers was not just comforting, it was life-changing. This tribute has since gone viral among fans, not because of its length, but because of its sincerity. It captures the very essence of who Tristan was, a man who, despite his fame, never forgot the importance of treating others with respect. For many, Stamos's words validated what fans had long felt, that behind the charming smile and powerful performances, Tristan Rogers was truly a gentleman, approachable, compassionate, and genuine. When the news of Tristan Rogers' death was confirmed, fans naturally expected a grand farewell worthy of his legendary status. But those closest to him knew that Tristan was a man of simplicity and humility. His funeral was kept private, attended only by immediate family, close friends, and a few colleagues who had been part of his journey. It wasn't about Hollywood glitz or media coverage. It was about love, remembrance, and authenticity. Those who attended described this service as intimate and heartfelt. Speeches were given, memories were shared, and laughter mixed with tears as loved ones recalled the man behind the star. It was the kind of ceremony Tristan himself would have wanted focused not on fame, but on the relationships that defined his life. Still, the question many fans asked was, would there be a public memorial? According to early reports, plans are indeed underway for a larger tribute where fans will get the chance to celebrate Tristan's life and legacy together. Considering the immense impact he had on viewers, such a memorial is likely to draw thousands of admirers, both in person and online. The decision to keep the initial funeral private reflects Tristan's lifelong balance between public fame and personal values. On screen, he was a global star. Off screen, he wanted to be remembered as a husband, father, and friend, roles that mattered even more to him than acting. When we talk about Tristan Rogers, we're not just talking about an actor. We're talking about a man who changed the face of daytime television. Robert Scorpio wasn't your typical soap opera character. He wasn't just involved in love triangles and scandals. He was a spy, a police commissioner, and a man with layers of bravery, wit, and vulnerability. This depth redefined what soap operas could offer, blending action, romance, and genuine emotional storytelling. For fans, watching Robert Scorpio wasn't just entertainment, it was an emotional connection. Viewers followed him through heartbreak, triumph, and even moments of comedy. He became a character that families would gather around the TV to watch, generation after generation. Even beyond General Hospital, Tristan made waves with his role as Colin Atkinson on The Young and the Restless. Unlike the heroic Scorpio, Colin was more morally complex, often walking the fine line between villain and sympathetic character. It was proof of Tristan's versatility as an actor. And then, of course, there was his venture into voice work, lending his voice to films like All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 and The Rescuers Down Under. Tristan reached a completely different audience. Many who grew up in the 90s remember those animated films fondly, never realizing that the same man behind the voice was also a soap opera legend. His work across multiple platforms showed his adaptability and passion. But what truly made his career remarkable wasn't just the roles, it was the way he connected with people. Fans often say that Tristan's performances felt real, as though he wasn't acting but living the character's experiences. That authenticity is rare, and it's why he remained beloved for over 40 years. While the world knew Tristan Rogers as Robert Scorpio, those closest to him knew him simply as Tristan, a man with passions, hobbies, and a grounded personality. Away from the cameras, he had a love for motorbikes, and often spoke about the joy he found in riding. He also had a passion for voice work, which he saw as a unique form of storytelling where imagination and sound took center stage. But above all, he was a family man. Tristan was a devoted husband to his wife Teresa and a loving father to his children. In interviews, he often spoke with pride about his family, emphasizing that his greatest achievements weren't on television but at home. Friends and colleagues described him as approachable and down-to-earth. Despite his fame, he never let ego get in the way of kindness. Whether it was sharing advice with a newcomer on set or taking time to chat with fans, Tristan always treated people with respect. That's why John Stamos's tribute resonates so deeply. In an industry where many chase power and recognition, Tristan's legacy is rooted in something more lasting: kindness and humanity. And perhaps that's the greatest tribute of all. In the days following Tristan Rogers' passing, the outpouring of love and remembrance from the entertainment world was overwhelming. Social media feeds, entertainment headlines, and even daytime TV segments were filled with stories celebrating the man who had touched so many lives both on and off the screen. From his earliest days on General Hospital, Tristan had been known not just for his powerful performances, but also for his generosity as a colleague. Co-stars, many of whom spent decades working with him, described him as a mentor, a source of laughter, and a rock of stability on set. Finola Hughes, who played Anna Devane alongside Robert Scorpio, shared a particularly emotional tribute. She described Tristan as a partner in storytelling, someone who brought out the best in those around him. Hughes noted that their on-screen chemistry wasn't manufactured, it was built on years of trust, respect, and friendship. For fans, Anna and Robert's relationship was one of the most iconic soap opera pairings ever created, and Hughes credited Tristan's charisma and